Hey everyone, today we're discussing discontinued things that suddenly or slowly disappeared from the game, and why I feel they should be brought back. Let's get into it. Meme add-ons are add-ons that give the character a nerf, sometimes it's a fun one, and sometimes it's just a really brutal one. In return, they reward you with extra blood points in a category or score event of some kind. These have appeared weirdly on recent licensed characters, but on Skull Merchant, Knight, Dredge, and Artist, the four most recent original chapters, we've had no meme add-ons. This is pretty strange, and I've wondered for a while now why this happened. These add-ons were typically pretty fun, especially when there was a bit more effort put into them, and a fun challenge was made. The argument here may be because they needlessly took up an add-on slot, but I mean, really? Brown add-ons are usually terrible anyway, and lots of characters that haven't received a meme add-on have brown add-ons that could very easily be replaced for one. Characters like Knight and Merchant would really benefit from having some silly add-ons that you could mess around with. To the best of my knowledge, there was no word on the removal of these add-ons too, so I find it kind of strange how they just suddenly stopped appearing. There's a bunch of really fun meme add-ons. Plagues, for example, makes it so you can't infect people directly, but your environmental infection is greatly buffed, allowing you to play Plague in a different way entirely, and get rewarded whilst doing so. Wraith's add-on, the Beast Soot, makes it so your terror radius doesn't go away when cloaked, making you invisible but not silent. It's a really interesting way to play and experience him. Party Bottle is a funny clown add-on that simply makes your bottles spew confetti. And let's not forget too that some of the more tense and engaging add-ons are technically meme add-ons, such as Scratch Mirror for Myers. Different Rarity map offerings were a thing a while back. They came in 3 rarities. Each offering gave a scaling increase to map chance as they went up. It was understandable why these were removed originally, with them simply bloating the blood web, and the different rarities having much less distinction between them. However, I think the concept of having map offerings that don't provide guarantees, but instead double a map's chances, for example, would be fine, and actually quite nice. The current ones increase odds by 9,999, which is essentially a guarantee. I've personally never seen a map offering played and then gotten a different map. In addition, I like the idea of map offerings that can decrease a realm's chance of appearance. The visuals are there already, so maybe 2 yellow offerings. One increases chances by 2, and one decreases chances by 2. This leaves players able to promote their preferred map, but by no means guarantee its appearance. Earnable cosmetics are something I would love to see a return for. The clearest example where we had these before was the Bubba masks, which of course were removed due to lots of controversy surrounding them at the time, and them being used in unpleasant ways. So I'm not suggesting we bring something like that back, but the idea of being able to earn cosmetics by playing the game is really nice, especially if they are unique and tied to an in-game challenge with the character. A perfect challenge that is well known and currently unrewarded is the Adept challenges. It'd be pretty cool, I think, if there was some kind of reward for completing these, even if it's something as simple as a recolor of an outfit, or maybe even, now bear with me on this one because lots of people aren't going to like this, but almost a gold camo equivalent for the character's weapon. For example, a golden cleaver for Trapper. Regardless of what rewards could be implemented, it would be great if there was some to achieve purely through gameplay, and ideally through a tough challenge. This was somewhat implemented, I suppose, with the charms you can earn by prestiging, where you get the respective character's perks as you level up, but we're talking more cosmetics for the character, and ideally unique ones too. Power, perk, and item interactions is actually what kind of sparked the idea for this video. In the most recent patch, we have been told that flashlights are basically losing all their utility. They can no longer break hag traps, destroy crow swarms, or even cause light burn, with that effect being entirely removed. The thing that annoyed me the most, I think, was probably the removal of light burn, with it being a really unique and cool mechanic that affected both Wraith and Nurse. It's also maybe not the best idea to remove it from Nurse, especially because it's one of the only ways you can actually counter her. I think in the case of Hag, bringing back the ability for flashlights to destroy traps is maybe too strong. It would be nice if they kept the same reveal effect when a flashlight is shined on them. Maybe it still will be. The patch notes weren't so clear on that. To further this, once upon a time, Trapper's traps were affected more by the existence of toolboxes and also the perk Small Game. Toolboxes and Saboteur were able to disarm traps quicker, and Small Game instead allowed you to locate traps. Pre-change, Small Game could locate Trapper's traps, Hag's traps, and Freddy's dream pallets. I think in Trapper's case this was a little too much working against him, but I do think the existence of interactions like this are good. They just need to be balanced well. The other issue is that this perk was useless if you didn't face these characters. This part is fairly easy, I think, to adjust. You just add an effect that is always present, as well as these side or additional character-specific effects. This one is admittedly really tricky, but I just love these small interactions in the game, particularly stuff like Lightburn. Small Game having the effect it did was maybe a little too much, but you still had to run it in the first place, and happened to get Trapper. How often does that really happen? It could be interesting if they did the opposite of these changes, and instead made all characters have some kind of effect from items. A toolbox, say, could tinker with a pig's box, and make it take less time when searching them. This is going to be a controversial take, I know, but I honestly really liked these interactions. Lightburn in particular, I'm sad about being removed, or discontinued, as it was such a cool and unique mechanic. Crow perks. I know I bang on about this a lot, but crow perks are such a cool idea. It's not even the fact that they are crow perks specifically, it's more about the overall or broader idea of environmental based perks. Perks that work off of or draw from the environment. In this case, the crows. For the perk Spies from the Shadows, the crows can be used to locate survivors, alerting you of their presence. Survivors have the perk Calm Spirit, which stops you from alerting crows. It says woodland creatures, but that means crows, because it doesn't stop those rats appearing on the ground, and stuff like that, for example. It would be great if these returned, but were also maybe expanded a little more. Crows are something that could definitely have more interaction implemented, but it could also be for things like pallets and breakable walls. A popular idea in the community is a perk that allows you to reconstruct pallets by collecting pieces of wood and then rebuilding pallets in preferable areas. The perk Botany Knowledge mentions you transform plants found around the campfire into tinctures that slow down bleeding. It'd be cool if you could actually do this, as in you go into the trial and you're able to scavenge plants that could be used for healing. Maybe even like this description says, with it stopping bleeding. It could be a perk that pauses or negates the hemorrhage effect, for example. Perks like Diversion could become like this too, where you can search the trial ground and find rocks that can be used for distractions, instead of their current terror radius activation. Alright, well that's gonna do it. I do hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's any discontinued thing that I missed that's worth mentioning down below, or any ideas you may have for what could be done to reintroduce the things I mentioned. Thanks for watching, thank you to members, and goodbye.